So we've just reached our first park up of our biggest trip yet at Glencon Kill, and just to let you know, it is not a drive for the faint of heart. So it's not, we've done that drive before in a car and it was like, yeah, no problem, but in the van it's a different story altogether. So I just want to do a quick damage inspection, make sure everything's still attached, and then we're going to take Rosie for a wee damp. So we're actually parked up in what I think is a car park for the called the Folk Village, which is like a famine village sort of thing, and you can pay a small fee for entry and have a look around what is sort of like from famine times, like wee village from famine times. It looks really, really cool, and I didn't realise the park up was literally across from it. Like.
So I'm standing next to which is a commemorative sculpture. And it's a collaborative sculpture that was crafted in native Irish stones by stonemasons from each country in honour of the events of 1916 in Ireland. So what's your first impressions?
Very impressed. So yeah, just the whole scenery and the drive down was amazing, and then it's just an absolute cracking spot, like, so it is. I don't think we've ever been here before, so it's the first for us. And then Rosie's enjoying herself too. She's down a hole here, so she's just watching her. Make sure she doesn't go for another swim.
As far as first impressions go, this one was breathtaking and absolutely blew us out of the water for what we were expecting. The rocky crags along this Irish beach was the perfect place for us and Rosie to explore. The Wild Atlantic Way was beautiful.
So now that we have had a bit of a rest, we are now going to make dinner, and we're going to have dinner with a lovely view of the water. So we said in our previous videos we had a secret item coming, and that is actually a All Powers power bank. So All Powers have actually reached out to us and sponsored us with a power bank and solar panels. Now we're going to do a dedicated video for this, but what you're going to see is us actually using it on the trip, and sort of we'll talk a wee bit about it as we sort of use it. So having this actually allows us to bring our air fryer. Now you'll see that we have two drawers. That's because it's the air fryer from our house, but we can only sort of use one drawer at a time just because of power usage. But still, air frying in the van wasn't something we were thinking about or considering, but now that we have the power bank, it makes it a possibility. So we're going to our dinner. We're going to have, let me see what's in the fridge actually. See what we brought. It actually feels like a proper kitchen, doesn't it? So we have creamy garlic potatoes, or potato gratin we call it, and chicken bites. So I'm going to leave that just closed over because I want to get a drink as well. So I don't actually do cooking, so I think what I'll do is I'll hand over to Tony to do this bit.
Okay, so an air fryer might be the lazy option whenever it comes to cooking, but having these home conveniences really make it feel like exactly that, a home on wheels. While we waited for dinner, Stephen was plotting our best route forward for the next stop along the Wild Atlantic Way, and Rosie was getting cosy in the van. Even she was adjusting and making herself at home with Vanlife. With dinner set and a hearty meal being cooked in our air fryer, we enjoyed having the opportunity to just finally relax after a full day of driving and travel. There's a lot to be said for a nomadic lifestyle, and being able to just drive, park up and have your dinner somewhere adds a whole new level of meaning to the van life lifestyle.
Oh wow, these are these weird knife and forks. We got a camping knife and fork. Jesus, look at that. These actually feel quite nice, these forks. So it's been quite a long day. We've travelled quite a bit. We have had our dinner. First night sort of all Vanlife experiences. I'm just having my dessert now. So we are going to wrap it up for now and head to bed. We've got the blinds up, just have one more to put on. Take Rosie out for a wee dander just before, and then head to sleep and pick up again tomorrow, which I think we're going to try and see Sleeve League tomorrow. So fingers crossed we can get near it.
So it's our first morning waking up here, and it's actually a nice sunny day. So while Stephen's getting his breakfast, I'm gonna take a little walk with Rosie and see this place in the sun before we move on for the day.
So we've just woken up after our first night, and it was so peaceful. We were the only people here. There wasn't even any cars passing on the road, so we've just had this spot completely to ourselves, which is a brilliant wee spot. We'll maybe put the what 3 words for where this is, or a location or something. So we're just going to have our breakfast now. We did plan on like making a fry and stuff, but because we've got up a wee bit later, and we want to get to Sleeve League Cliffs because it can be quite busy, so we want to get there soonish. We're just going to have some cereal.
So we've just got to the second stop of what we wanted to do while we were on this Wild Atlantic Way trip, and it is the Sleeve League Mountains, which were the highest peaks in Ireland?
Europe, I think.
Europe.
Highest accessible sea cliffs, I think, if I read that right.
So a bit of history behind that for you. So we parked at the car park, so it's a bit of a shorter walk up. If you have a car, you can actually drive up this.
At some points of the year, I was saying the busy points you wouldn't be able to.
But because we're in the camper, we can't drive up it.
Oh, but never make it up this hill.
No, we'd never make it up this hill.
If we're going to make it up this hill on foot.
So the parking price was €10, although it does say on Park for Night €5. So just keep that in mind if you are coming here.
Well, maybe see if
€10.
we can update that. So we'll.
Yeah, we'll do a little entry on there. So yeah, let's go for a hike.
Oh, Jesus.
So actually now, sort of looking at it, once you get up the initial hill, it flattens out a bit. It's maybe not so bad. I was prepared for it to be hill the whole way up, but
I think if I had been much more of that, that would have been yeah, we'll turn back.
But it is class too, actually looking out at it and seeing it. All the formations. It's very windy, so hopefully you guys can hear this. If not, I'll put subtitles. It was amazing to see goats and sheep just hanging on the edge of a cliff. In fact, the entire scenery of the place was unlike anything that we'd ever seen before. Castles, mountains, rocks and cliffs. It was absolutely like something out of a fairy tale. Funny this time of year because it's like everybody's used to Ireland being so green. They call it the Emerald Isle. But whatever year we've hit it, just early spring, just after winter really. And
Very brown.
yeah, something around it. Reminds me of Scotland a bit more than Ireland.
Well, it's this area, so this area would be like that.
But it's still pretty cool. Be interesting to see what this would be like in the summer, if it would be more like fresh and green, or if it would stay like this, you know?
No, I think it would stay more or less like this.
Yeah, it looks pretty dry. I feel like I say it a lot in these videos, but I'm such a big history nerd and I love anything to do with like myths and legends, particularly Celtic myths and legends. But I don't actually know the Sleeve League, but I've seen some rocks back there.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what the history was to this.
No,
I was
I don't
actually like,
actually know
oh, I
this
don't know
one.
what this is either.
I've seen some rocks back there with a lot of cows or bulls and like a woman or a goddess, which I'm assuming. So I'm assuming these have something to do with that. I took a little video, so I'll pop a little bit of footage in here, and then when I get back I will actually look up the meaning behind it.
Get back. We're not making it back.
We're stranded, although we are near the top.
Are we?
I would say we're near the top.
See people who say this walk's half an hour? It isn't. It's maybe half an hour for people who do this sort of thing all the time. But if you're like us, be warned. It's challenging.
It's a long walk, but it's not steep. The first bit was steep, and then it's pretty smooth sailing.
Maybe just because I'm cold.
Since then, it's not too bad at all. The walk was well worth it. We felt pretty much safe because everything was fenced off and we were never too close to the edge. It wasn't overly crowded and you pretty much had a good view of everything there was to see. So we finally got to the viewing point and we got some lovely pictures which I will insert right now. Hopefully our eyes are open on them because it's very, very windy. And now it's time to make our descent.
Oh, look, if I had stickers.
Oh yeah, I wonder who else has been here.
Have a look and see.
We know.
Can see any? What do we know?
What are you? Stephen was saying to me there that the way back was actually a lot nicer than the way up. I think because it's on the way up you just are determined to make it to the top and not really actually look at your surroundings as much. But 10 euro in, I'd say it was well worth admission. I also have to say we came pretty early because now we're noticing
Loads of people
more
now.
tourists.
Yeah.
Whenever we came it was just us and one other group. But still, plenty of room. It's not an overcrowded place or anything. It's just been nice to...
I would say in the summertime it could be, look.
Yeah, probably in the summer. But yeah, so...
Every time Rosie sees a sheep, she thinks it's someone to play with. Look, look at her. She's like, oh my god, I can play this.
I think we're going to head back now. Head to our next destination, our next park up.
So we've arrived at Downpatrick Head. This is an amazing park up to be had. Look at the view that we have, and it's quite quiet. So this car park looks like it's been done pretty fresh. We will have to put the van up on wheel shocks just to bring it up a wee bit, like, but again, like it's definitely one of the best park ups that we've had. So we're going to have a wee nosy around, maybe see about flying the drone, and then making ourselves dinner.
Downpatrick Head is based in County Mayo. It's called this because it's believed that St. Patrick derived one of his first churches here. There's a legend here about the rocks. It says that when the chieftain refused to let St. Patrick convert people here, he struck the ground with his crozier, causing the rock formations that you can see here. So we're doing what I would call like an Irish fry, or more like a fry that we would make in the north of Ireland, which we're known for. It includes Irish bread, like potato bread, I think it's Irish vegetable roll, which is like a minced meat. You can also have soda bread with this, you can have beans, you can have mushrooms. That's the joy of this type of fry, that we can throw it all together and just have it all in a big plate. Traditionally probably a morning food, but people eat it over here at any time of the day, and I think it's going to set us up really well after that walk.
How much would you pay in a hotel for that kind of view? Like, we're sitting here for free. Well, minus diesel.
Stephen wasn't wrong. How much would you pay for the beauty of this park up? And we were getting it all for free. So while we relaxed the rest of the night and watched the sunset, we found ourselves a little more grateful than before we began the trip. And as we watched the crashing waves and the golden sun set over Ireland's wild Atlantic way, we knew that we were in store for one of our greatest adventures yet.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now.
Oh, come on, Rosie, up again. Up again. Oh my god. Come on, up. She's like, no. She's actually fighting me. No.
So we just woke up in Downpatrick Head, and today we're going to head towards the Achill Island direction. So it's probably going to be a bit of a scenic drive. I heard there's a castle there that we pretty much want to check out. I suppose now we're probably just going to get up, get a bit of breakfast, and take Rosie out to explore. So we have just got breakfast over us, and now we're going to go and explore what Downpatrick Head has to offer and take Rosie on a little walk. I think one of the good things about getting out on the wild Atlantic way is you get to see things that you wouldn't see every day where we live. The huge cliffs, all the green, the rocks, and it really, really does make you appreciate the country that you live in.
Don't know if you'll see it on camera, but if you stand in the middle and just look down and see what you can see. Probably better. So, unfortunately we can't go any further on this walk because there's no dogs allowed. Because we're on a wee bit of a tight schedule, we don't really have the time to bring Rosie back to the van and then explore it ourselves, because I think the walk's about maybe a 2-hour walk and we need to get to Achill Island, especially since it looks like a good day and we really want to make the most of it. But we have got drone footage of it, so hopefully you can see and enjoy the drone footage, and the next time we come here, which I think we'll definitely come back, we'll know to leave Rosie in the van for this bit. So this is just an amazing spot to be parked in, so it is. I would say maybe come back here in the summer, just because you can spend like a day or two here, no problem. It's so peaceful. Now I would really doubt it would be as quiet in the summer. I would say there'd be a couple of people here, but there's plenty of spaces for the likes of us. Like there's what, 3 or 4 spaces where we are, and then there's a couple of portaloos and another 3 or 4 spaces dedicated for like motorhomes and vans. And I would say the likes of our van, you'd probably you'd probably fit in a normal space, and then leave the bigger spaces for proper motorhomes. Now, I don't know how big a motorhome you'd get in here, because some of the entrances were a wee bit on the narrow side. But if you can get here, like it's so worth it. The only downside to this whole thing, which we're finding out, is there's no bins. So that's the second park up, and there's no bins. We're kind of like our third park up really, because Leave League didn't have any bins either. And again, €10 for the parking. Yes, it was worth it, but you'd have thought they would have supplied some bins, so you would have. So do keep that in mind. Like, we are obviously very adamant of leave no trace to allow us to keep using these places, because we don't want to be shut off, and everybody should be the same. If you're going to park up, just bring everything with you. But it just adds a wee bit of a challenge to it, because we have to pick up after little Rosie, and yeah, it's a bit of a challenge as well. So it is whenever you're trying to find a bin.
Another thing that you might want to know about the Wild Atlantic Way, you'll always know if you're on the Wild Atlantic Way when you see one of these signs. Now these signs look like a little wave, but it's actually W-A-W, Wild Atlantic Way.
So just as we're about to drive off, we've just sort of been talking, and the rocks here are very like what you would find in the Giant's Causeway. And sort of like octagon-y square sort of rocks. What do you call that? Basalt? And like weird formations. What would you say that is? Like cliff formations? Yeah, it's cool like that.
Could have been a volcano at one point.
Maybe, yeah. Really should have looked up the history of this place, shouldn't I? Well, put it in the video somewhere what the history is.
To me, it's amazing. You can just be driving along a road and then come across something that looks like a volcano in front of you out of the middle of nowhere. It's definitely been one of the more interesting sights to see on this trip. So although it is raining, I'm hoping the mist and the gloom of Achill Island actually adds a little bit more atmosphere to the video, so make the most out of a bad situation. One thing I think we can also say about our drive along the Wild Atlantic Way is not one location has looked the same. We went from rocks, the green, to now these huge fields of heather.
Yeah. So we are just about to come into Achill Island. Just sat-naved the main bridge into Achill, and then we're just going to stay off the map for once we get through. Now my uncle actually said if we come into Achill Island and take a left, follow the coast, and then after that there's really only the one road takes you around Achill Island, so you can't go wrong. But we're just going to go in. Roads around us. We're just going to go in and do a wee bit exploring without the Google. No!
So for those film buffs out there, you may recognise Achill as being one of the locations from, I think it was a Golden Globe winning movie, Banshees of Inisherin. I'm going to be controversial. I didn't like that movie very much, but it was a beautiful movie in terms of cinematography and location, so I'm excited to see that as well. It was easy to see why people loved Achill, one of the smallest populated places in Ireland. And even though it was a small population, it was home to many notable figures. One such figure was the Pirate Queen of Ireland, Grace O'Malley. She was a well-known Irish sea captain who had built a castle here. I definitely think it's true what they say here. It's one of the least populated areas in Ireland, and apart from the noise of the sea and the wind, can't hear anything.
It's one of the areas, like, it's going to be very hard to show people on camera, but it's one of the areas I think you'd say you have to come and see, because you can take it all in with your eyes, but it's sort of hard to capture with the camera, like, isn't it? But it's very, very pretty.
Even the rain couldn't spoil the beauty of this place. We were in absolute awe at everything we were looking at on our drive through Achill Island. I'm going back to what I was saying earlier about every location along the Wild Atlantic Way being different, because this could be the outback in Australia that we're travelling in right now, minus the weather of course. The roads went on for miles with many twists and turns, and through the fog it was hard to see if anything else even lay ahead.
So we have travelled all the way through Achill. Essentially, if you just keep following the road straight and straight and straight and straight, you'll eventually go up a mountain and then down a mountain to a place called Keene Bay, is it? Or Keene, can't remember. But there's a sign saying no camper vans beyond this point, so this is as far as we can go. So we're going to have a bit of lunch here and then look up where we're actually going to park for the night. We're trying to look at the weather as well, and we can see the weather's maybe nicer, a wee bit more inland, so we might come away from the coastline a little bit and see, but we're not really sure. So we're going to have a wee bit of lunch, see where we're going, maybe let Rosie out because she's crying an awful lot. So yeah.
The rain was picking up now, so it was time to travel to our next park up. It's very quiet.
It's very quiet. But apparently that's the Lost Valley. Whatever that means. Let's Google it and see. Apparently that goes all the way down. Right? Or maybe it's just a... Well, it says the bookend, like, but maybe it's like a private house or something. And the crazy thing is, this is essentially the middle of nowhere. And still near enough got full 5G. It's just bonkers, like, so it's...
So many sheep everywhere. Feel like
Ireland's known for sheep or something.
Feel like I'm being watched. So it says here, a miracle of beauty, the most beautiful thing I have seen anywhere in Europe. This is how author William Makepeace Thackeray described South Mayo beaches in a letter to his mother in 1842. And this place is called Silver Strand. So what are you looking at?
I am trying to find us a site so that we can camp and empty our toilet and stuff. Not too sure where to go, so I'm not for where we are. Oh, maybe where I'm looking is maybe wrong. I'd like to stay quite close to the coast because we'd get like views like this and such. But yeah, not really sure what to do.
So we're officially parked up for the night, and I'm going to make some dinner. I'm going to put on some pork and apple burgers that we got in McGee's Butchers back whenever we started the trip. And again, using the air fryer for this one, coming in handy. So we're at the end of the night now, and I suppose I'm just checking in for a sort of video vlog. And we're going to bed down for the night. You can hear Stephen laughing in the background there. We're going to bed down for the night. This site is very quiet. There's one other person again. I think we said that earlier. Nobody else has appeared. But with that other person, I feel like we feel quite safe and secure. They seem to be chilling in their van. We're chilling in ours. And we're going to bed down now and finish off the night by watching a movie on the laptop, which is being powered by our old power. So it really is actually coming in handy. The next morning, we woke up and decided to take a walk to the beach to explore. The beach was massive, stretching on for miles. These beach locations provide a great walk. It lets Rosie get a runabout and lets us explore the beauty of the surrounding areas. No matter how many beaches we tend to visit on our adventures, we always say that we like being near the water, and it's the perfect park up for us. I'd go as far to say that this beach was probably one of our favourite park ups that we've been on in our entire adventure.
Yes. Good girl. Oh, coming over to the other daddy.
She's been so good.
She's very good.
I think it's all this getting out and walking. She loves it.
She's actually doing what she told. It's astonishing.
It's great for her and it's great for us though too. I think she'll adjust really well whenever we do this full time.
So now that we have Rosie thoroughly exercised, we are now going to move on to Connemara and have a look at the national park, I think it is, or Connemara National Park. So we're going to go there, have a wee look about, and then we have another drive on to Doolin. We were actually going to stay on a campsite because we need to do a bit of the necessities. So yeah, on to Connemara and then on to Doolin.
It was a fun-filled morning at the beach, but our morning was coming to an end and we had to move on to our next location. We were on the road again, ready to visit our next stop on the Wild Atlantic Way.
Forming photographs alone.
If you're not sure about the build quality of your van, take it down these roads and it'll give you some reassurance. It'll shake the spine clean out of your belly. So it's like the ultimate road trip, like, isn't it? But you just really need to concentrate on what you're doing, because they're quite dangerous at the same time, like, so they are.
How do you find it? Like, so you're trying to concentrate on the road, but you've had all the scenery around you too?
Yeah, it's a bit, it's difficult, like, so it is, because you want to enjoy the scenery. But like, if you take your eyes off the road for a second, like, you'll hit a pothole or a bumper off the road entirely. So it's like, yeah, you need to be really switched on what you're doing. So we're just driving through Doolin Valley, and I think this is the third time we've stopped now because we just feel like we're driving through Harry Potter, through Hogwarts. You know, the land around Hogwarts. I don't know what you call it. I'm not that big a fan. Yeah, it's very like the Scottish Highlands. I imagine this is what it would be like, but it's just amazing. Like, so it is every time we get somewhere to stop and pull over. It's really, really amazing. Like, we just have this. What I'm assuming is Doolin, and then these. It's just stunning. Like, absolutely stunning. And I never knew this existed until we just randomly took this road trip. It's just brilliant, like, isn't it? Even though it's not like blue skies and sunshine, it still looks amazing because it's bright enough to see it. This is like something you would think you would see in the likes of Norway. Just it's that sort of Viking-esque sort of like village. Like, who decided to put a village what feels like in the middle of a mountain, but that looks like a sort of harbour. I don't know, it's just weird. Just like very Norwegian-y sort of thing. Maybe it was Vikings. Could have been. So as we're doing this drive through sort of Doolin Valley, or Duloc Valley, sorry, we've just come across a place called Achill Falls, and it looked really pretty. And there was parking there to park at and go for a wee walk, but just we're under a wee bit of a time constraint now today, so we'll have to mark that. Oh, there's a car coming. As one to do in the future. That's a wee bit tight, but it's definitely like I would say we'd just come back to that valley just for like a weekend camp or something, just to see and explore it. It's just amazing. So it is absolutely amazing. So we've just arrived in Connemara National Park, and Rosie's really excited to get out. So she is. So we've just arrived here, and we're sort of realising looks like it's walks and such. It's a bit of a stupid thing to say, actually, isn't it? It's always going to be walks and stuff, yeah. But we're going to have to see if it's steep or not, because if it's too steep, we might not be able to do it, because I'm a bit wrecked. So, so we'll see what happens. But what we're going to do first is we're actually going to go get lunch, and then we'll go do a bit of exploring. So one thing to note is if you're bringing your camper van or motorhome to Connemara National Park, whenever you drive up the hill, you'll see like a stony area, and then there'll be like parking bays lengthwise. Park in there as soon as you see them, because the car park is really just for cars or very small vans. Like we drove right up. You can go up and you can turn right round. There's loads of space. But if you drive right up, you just never, like we would never get this van parked anywhere near there, so it wouldn't. So we were able to drive out, turn around the car park, and then we've just pulled over in them spaces. So what culinary masterpiece are you making us now for our lunch?
So I was saying, I wanted to do some Irish things, and you would have seen me do some potato bread with the fry. So this is our Irish lunch of choice. We love our bread in Ireland.
So again, it is also worth saying, just another massive thank you to All Powers for the power bank, because again, we wouldn't ever have been able to do the air frying without it. Or at least until we upgraded our inverter, but we never thought about air frying or anything. So we've actually, this whole trip, we've used the All Powers for the air fryer most of the time. We've been using it to charge camera batteries, drone batteries. So we actually were using it last night for the laptop, so that we could watch a bit of Family Guy. So yeah, it's been brilliant. And then to charge it, we have a set of solar panels. So if we eventually get any sun, as you can see, it's not very sunny today, but whenever we do eventually get some sun, we can charge it with the solar panels. Or what we can do is the All Powers actually has different charging modes. So you can put it in like eco, standard, or fast charge. So we just keep it in standard, and then we can actually charge it off our own inverter, but at a much lower pace. And then because we're driving so much, we're just constantly topping up both batteries in, which is great. How have you found it, Tony?
I'm loving it. It's made a world of difference to Vanlife for me, because it's just so much easier not cooking with gas. I am an advocate for not cooking with gas, because I personally don't like gas cooking. I always burn everything, and with an air fryer it's just easy for me to just set it, put it in, and use it that way.
Oh, hot. I love potato bread.
So as soon as we got here, we seen this massive big crow statue marking the entrance to the park, and now we're going to go and look for a nice simple walking trail to take Rosie on and digest our lunch. So what are you thinking?
3 kilometres, 20 mile and a half. We do this blue one?
Well, there's the Ellis Wood one.
Actually, it's only
Half
turn around in a
kilometre.
circle and you can do that.
Seems like the one I'd go for.
Well, the upper Diamond Hill is going to be not one for us. So it is, because it's up the mountain. So I think do this one. I think this will be okay. That's it. It's only about a mile and a half.
Right.
So it'll not take too long, hopefully. Hopefully it'll not be too steep either.
Say that now. Getting out on walks like this is always great because it helps us maintain a level of fitness that we wouldn't otherwise had if we weren't travelling around in a van. Taking the time to actually forget about our stresses and get out and walk and talk to each other and also get Rosie out on a walk is great for us.
You should give of your affection.
You can actually see the sun trying to get through, but the Irish country's just going, no, you're not welcome here, sunshine.
So for all those plant lovers out there, we actually thought that these were heather whenever we were going through the fields and driving here, but actually looking closer, I think that they might be buttercups. So let us know in the comments, what type of plants are these? Did you ever think a couple of years ago this would be us out on the road with our dog hiking up the side of a mountain? I never pictured that for us.
No, definitely not.
That's
far better, like.
Yeah, it's the thing about van life, like, got a caravan, got the bug, and realised, like, you really do realise you are in a rat race. You're scraping together paycheck to paycheck, trying to pay for a mortgage, when you could be saving a lot of money, take your home wherever you want, and enjoy the world for what it is.
So this walk we've actually chose to do is actually quite good. It's quite level. We've an incline, but level. Like if you're as fit as we are, which isn't very, you could do this walk no problem. So we were so focused on walking up the hill, whenever just turned around, just talked to Tony, just seen the view, and I think it's better looking this way. We maybe should have walked the other way around. So we should have.
When we were looking out at the vast world beyond the mountains, it really does make you feel small, but it also makes you appreciate the little things, because there are always bigger things out there. When you're at the highest point, it's absolutely amazing, isn't it?
It is that way.
Looking down behind us. I feel like we conquered something there. That was a trek.
It's not the worst we've done, it's not.
No.
There is, you can go higher. But for us, not today. So it's not.
So I think the next step is
make our way back down again.
Make our way back down and get to the site. That should be the first site in our trip so far. So let's go do that. I'm quite happy that we chose the shorter route because it's a nice walk on the way back on a steady boardwalk with amazing views, which is very nice to see.
So we didn't actually realise that we've been driving through the burn the entire time. We thought it was like an actual spot, but it's like a region, and we've just come to this viewpoint and stopped to have a wee look and discovered this whole thing that we're seeing now is actually the burn. So
the rock behind me that actually makes up the burn is actually a grey limestone, which I thought was quite interesting.
It is unlucky to pick a harebell known as a blue bonnet or goblin thimble, as they belong to the fairies. That might be alright then, so to pick them up.
So we've come to Riverside, O'Connor's Riverside Caravan and Camping Park in Doolin, and lets us dump our rubbish, take Rosie on a little walk, and park up for the night, get our showers. Dump our dump. And yeah, get sorted for moving on tomorrow. I have to say, very, very friendly. Couldn't do enough. They loved Rosie. They were petting Rosie and talking to Rosie as soon as we came in. So, very pet friendly. Pets are required to be on the lead because there is no dedicated dog walk area, which I've noticed. And it does say on this little sign out there. But yeah, lots of space, lots of nice sights, and a view onto the cliffs of Moher and the little castle rail.
Rosie, come on. There you go. Hi, Tony, come on.
So it's that time in the vlog again. Riveting stuff, I know, and I know yous are all wondering, what are we cooking tonight? Well, we are cooking a little lasagna. Little lasagna?
I was going to say, it's not that little.
Little, it's a big lasagna. Yeah. Does anybody else just love a lasagna out of Lidl's? I think it's one of the nicest lasagna. Sometimes I think it's better actually getting the Lidl one than making your own. Is that controversial?
Just where you're concerned.
Just where I'm concerned. I do actually love making pasta, actually, to be fair. Anything Italian, I love it. But that's what we're doing tonight, so I will show you the result whenever that's finished to keep you all informed. Now what you're witnessing is the height of my culinary skills. So we've got our lasagna in.
A squished lasagna in there. Fair.
No, it actually fits, I'm surprised.
Oh, did it fit? Like
Yeah.
plastic was on it?
Yeah, it fit.
Nice.
And then we are going to just go 200 degrees, 30 minutes. Thank God for...
All powers?
Oh, thank God, yeah. Thank God for all bars, and thank God to the person who made the air fryer to make life so much easier. Couldn't be without one now after I made the switch. Dishwasher, air fryer, essential in every household.
I wasn't really a fan of an air fryer. But for, I don't know why, it's just in the van, it's perfect.
Doesn't that look amazing?
It does look very good, yes. So,
Taste.
the only thing, we keep forgetting salt. So we do. So we don't have any condiments in
Doesn't
the van.
need salt.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
It's nice without the salt.
Oh god, yes. Actually, you're 100% right. It is really nice without the salt.
So we just have our empty plates after dinner. And because we don't have a proper sink set up yet with running water, we've been sort of making shift with the basin all week. So we're actually going to go and check out the camper's kitchen on site and do our dishes there, which is another bonus of being on site versus being off the grid. So yeah, we're also going to take this opportunity to get rid of our rubbish as well. And take Rosie for a little dander. For bed and down again for the night. Probably do much the same as last night. And get into bed, watch some TV, maybe a movie. And then set off tomorrow for
The cliffs of Moher.
the cliffs of Moher. Moher. I'm sure it probably means mother in Gaelic, maybe.
Look that up.
We're gonna have to look that one up. But I'm thinking, or maybe that's just the Belfast coming out in us and we're going more instead of mother.
Ah, there we know.
But yeah, so I think we'll probably leave it there for the night and catch up with you again in the morning. It was time to wind down after our big day. Chilling out and bedding down for the night is always one of the most relaxing times in our van, and we really appreciate and get to enjoy the break and the needed rest. So it's a new day and we are ready for a trek. We've made it to the cliffs of Moher. It's a bit of a misty, rainy sort of a day, but I think we're prepared. We've got
Like
our
every
coats.
day in Ireland.
We've got our coats, we've got our waterproof camera, and yeah, I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
I know Rosie's ready to go. So we booked this online. Online it was €8 per person off peak morning times, and it's called the Cliffs of Moher Experience. It has a 800-metre walkway for dedicated walking. At the minute the 500-kilometre trail is closed because of the storm that we had recently in Ireland. So it's not accessible at the minute.
5k is also closed, isn't it?
Did I say 5k? What did I say?
You said 500 metre. Is
Oh,
it
sorry.
3?
Yeah, there's a 500 metre. The 5k is also closed. Yeah, so let's go and experience our morning walk along the Cliffs of Moher.
Oh, sorry.
So there's a dedicated parking area here. It's pretty empty at the minute. It's still morning time, so we're gonna go and check it out. Apparently it's a 2-minute walk away from the cliffs. It's actually brightening up a wee bit.
There's bins here. First place I've seen
Yes,
bins.
it's been such a struggle to find bins on this trip. Bins and ATMs, that's another thing if you're coming here. And you're from the UK or Northern Ireland and you are with a British bank,
I bring some euros with you.
bring euros because we can't get cash back anywhere, and there are very few ATMs that we've seen along the Wild Atlantic Way. They lift money out,
Because you're in such rural locations.
so that's worth noting. That's something that we learned the hard way. So when we got here we got given a little card with a QR code on it, basically acting as our ticket, but it's
Which is that?
Yes, a little thing here. You can navigate with it. It's an app and an audio guide. So yesterday we were debating what the Cliffs of Moher actually meant. So I looked this up, and it doesn't mean mother. It means cliffs of old ruins.
So they actually modelled this place off the Shire. So did you know where the hobbits live into?
So right now we're trying to figure out which trail is the correct one. Really impressive. And I can spot in the distance here if I just zoom in. So for the Harry Potter fans out there, that's actually where Harry and Dumbledore operated in to get the Horcrux locket out of Voldemort's cave.
So a fella just stopped us there and said there are puffins on the island just below, and it's the most I've ever seen, so we're going to go and see if we can spot them for you.
If anybody ever pictured quintessential Ireland, I feel like this is what they would imagine. Cliff faces and green mountains with exotic birds flying, and even the fairy tale castles that overlook the sea. There's absolutely no doubt that this country, with all of its rich heritage, culture and history, is one of the best places to explore. Even learning about the castle that we were in and the O'Brien clan was amazing and really made us feel like we were stepping into Irish history.
So, while Tony is exploring the visitor centre, me and Rosie have come back to the van, out of the weather, to wait on him. That was quick. I'll hop in there.
Huh?
I'll hop in there, you were very quick.
There wasn't really that much to film, to be honest.
Oh, right, okay.
It's not that there wasn't much to film, it was very small, very crowded. And then whenever I got to the exhibition, the ride thing, it said water and wind effects, and I think I had quite enough of that for today.
Water and wind effects. I don't think you really need a ride with that in Ireland, like, do you?
No, definitely not. I'm soaked.
Yeah, that is one thing. You're on a mountainside, so you will get the sort of, what do you call that? Wet rain? Wet rain.
Spray water rain?
Spray water. We're soaked. So we are. Soaked from the inside and the outside, which is just lovely, isn't it? So, what would you rate it?
If the full walk had been open, maybe about an 8.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. Full walk wasn't open, but
I'd
then
say
again,
about a 6, maybe.
I don't think we might have been able to take Rosie on the full walk because there was part of the walk that was opened, and whenever we got to it, it said no dogs allowed. Now it doesn't say that on the website, does it? Because it says on the website dogs.
Very dog friendly.
Yeah.
To the extent it is dog friendly. There are designated dog paths. I guess they probably have to say no dogs allowed because I'm assuming it gets steep and narrow, maybe. So maybe having a dog that maybe isn't as well controlled as what Rosie is.
And one of the park wardens actually offered to mind Rosie for us.
Yeah, she was lovely. Shout out to her. I think her name was Sarah.
We apologise, we can't
I
remember.
Can't remember.
So we can't.
I think it was Sarah.
We're really bad with names on a good day. So we are. There's no height restrictions on the car park, by the way, so if you're in a big, massive motorhome, you should be fine. There's plenty of space here, so there is. And if you book online, I think you get like a dedicated parking area because we booked online, and we are segregated from the rest of the group.
I would recommend booking online actually because
Significantly cheaper.
it's a lot. It's 45% off at the minute. If you book online, 45% is quite a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good saving, so it is.
I think I said already it was €8 each, so €16 for the two of us, and that gives us the access to the exhibition, the visitor centre.
There is a couple places like to refill water and stuff as well. So like if you've got like water flasks, you could refill your water flasks. There's like doggy drinking stations as well, and there's lots of bins. I have to say it's the only place I've came to, but there's lots of bins. But again, I suppose it's a tourist attraction. You're paying for it, so you are. So that's maybe why they supply bins.
Yeah.
More fun than I don't know. So, alrighty.
So on to our next location.
Yes, we're going to have a look now and see where we're going to go, because we're going to start wrapping it up now, the trip. We are going to save the likes of Dingle and the Ring and Kerry for another time, because we didn't maybe quite realise the distances between each stop that we've been doing. So we are going to start travelling homeward, but back along sort of the way we came. So we're going to pick a spot halfway, like break up the journey home, because it's quite a distance. over today and tomorrow. So we're going to go try and pick a nice spot. Right, we will catch you whenever we come to our next point. Yeah, okay. So we're about halfway on our way back to sort of Lost Valley, Strand Beach. We are taking the direction of Clifton, but what we've discovered is where we're actually going back to is a nudie beach. So who knows what sights we may see today.
Cameras at the ready. This trip has by far been one of our biggest trips yet, and one that we will always remember. Exploring one of Ireland's largest coastal drives and getting to know more about what belonged in our own backyard. We have been so grateful that we get to do these adventures and share the journey with all of you at home. We really hope you have enjoyed this series, as we've been showcasing our time with you all along the Wild Atlantic Way. And remember, this was just a small part of a bigger adventure. Throughout the rest of the summer, we'll be exploring some of the amazing sights that Ireland has to offer. So we ask that you subscribe and join us on the journey if you don't want to miss out. And until next time, thank you for watching.